Everybody, happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is enjoying their work week so far, taking it easy, and just about over the hump after today. So happy hump day. um, a lot of stuff to go over today, so I thought I'd get on here in the morning on a different time slot and hang out with you guys for a little bit. Um, Let me know in the looks like I'm getting a little bit blurry here, so let me fix this real quick. If that becomes an issue, then we will adjust this accordingly. Let me see here. Come on, camera. All right, let's not start early on this crap. Good audio. Thank you, Tim. Jim's Fish. Thanks for coming in. I have a lot to discuss this morning, so I hope you guys have got your beverage of choice. Don't worry, that square block will go away here in a minute. I got my coffee with my hazelnut creamer. Um, and water. So we are good to go. Make sure you guys, hopefully, you guys had a really good, just got notification of you live in Rumble. Um, I don't know why you would, Tim, but I am not on Rumble. I am on Twitch. So that's one of the things I wanted to cover today in today's live. Um, so, Prodigal Aquarius, thanks for coming in. Good afternoon. Um, Thanks for coming in. Looks like I don't know if I've seen you in my life here before, but if I have, um, welcome in. And sorry I forgot you. Um, but yeah, Tim, if you want to add me on Twitch, you can. That's something else we can talk about. Um, that's part of my several announcements that I want to make today as we're moving right along here. So to begin with things that's on minor notes for my announcements, it ain't nothing too bad, but what's going on, Scotty? Thanks for coming in. Love your sign, by the way. That's a terrific sign. We got to talk more people in the fish community and YouTube try to get a sign. Um, Scotty, did you get your little what do you call them, your stands? Did you get some of these too with your order, Scotty? Because that was a perk. That was a perk for me whenever I ordered mine, is I gave those to me. So I was just curious if they had given you those as well. But yeah, I gotta try to get the word out and see if we can get other people on the neon sign bandwagon. Um, all right, that's cool. Good to know. Yeah, those stands are pretty neat. Hey, Dad, thanks for coming in on your morning little journey around in Florida. I'm assuming you're in Florida at the moment. So appreciate you stopping by. Um, but yeah, a few different things that I want to go over is first and foremost is I'm back on StreamYard. If you hadn't noticed already, since I'm able to bring in, it's like my dad saying, "Hey, good morning," and all that sort of thing. So it's nice to be able to do that. And I'm also streaming, obviously, to YouTube, and then I'm also streaming to a program called Twitch. And Twitch is kind of mainly more of like a gaming channel, so I'm kind of getting my fins wet per se. um, with the whole StreamYard thing because I'm still kind of new to that. But the reason why I'm doing this is because um, in the future for my channel, it's probably going to change a little bit. It's really going to change for a little bit and down the road. So I've been messing around with like my second hobby is like gaming. So the reason why I'm doing this is hey Alex, thanks for coming in. Doing fine. Um, is tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a little bit different of a live stream. So, because of me using Twitch right now, and I'm also linked with a program called OBS, and it's what I use to record and go live with Twitch and gaming and stuff because a lot of people use that. It's something new, and I'm doing an aquarium simulator. It's called Behind Glass Aquarium Simulator, and it's going to be upstairs in the studio. And it's a really neat game that I'm really excited to try something new and different. It's not going to be downstairs here in the fish room. It's going to be hanging out, and I'm going to build aquariums. I'm going to build my own aquarium on this video game. It's pretty intuitive. It doesn't have everything on it. Long story short, I don't want to give away too much, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, but Dad's flying back to Ohio today. My entertainment for the travels. Awesome. But anyways, back to the aquarium simulators. I don't want to give away too much, but I think it'll be fun. It'll be different. So if the people that don't really like watching video games per se, then that's fine. I'm just doing something different. Like I said, trying to get my fins wet or feet wet, seeing what works and what doesn't. And my buddy Tim and I, we've been working together with OBS, so I have to give a huge thank out to him. He sometimes pops into my lives. His name's Shadow Shrug on here. So he's got me in touch with the. I used to use OBS like when I very first started streaming. Actually, surprisingly, not before I even heard of StreamYard, Restream, or any of those type of things. And but now I'm going to be kind of going back and forth between StreamYard and OBS, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I have to give a huge shout out to Shadow Shrug Tim for helping me out with that. Um, Scotty says, "Yeah, I use OBS for my church's recordings and YouTube channel." Okay, yeah, it's not bad. You just can't bring up the chat relays. I know there is a way to do it because I think I think Stephen P, if I'm not mistaken. I think he does OBS and he knows a lot about it on how to bring a chat relay up. It has to do with like coding and doing the right things that I don't know how to do yet. But Ohio born and bred myself. Alrighty. If you don't mind me asking, where at in Ohio? Have I met you at an auction recently? I've been to a couple here in Ohio, northeastern area. All right, Tim. Swinging by the house to start your live stream on my channel while on lunch break. Silent live stream running 4 to 5 hours. Gotcha. But yeah, everyone, make sure to hit the like button. I appreciate it. So that's kind of another thing I'm doing differently on the channel. That's my second announcement, I guess. The first one was kind of minor, just letting you guys know that I'm back with StreamYard. It's just really easy to use StreamYard. Prodigal Aquarius says, I grew up in Columbus and Lancaster. Lived in the UK since 1990. Okay, interesting. Well, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I like Columbus. I've had pretty good experiences in Columbus. Been to concerts. I've been to different restaurants. Just an overall feeling, it wasn't bad. I've driven through Columbus quite a few times too. But let's see. I'm really excited about the OBS and the aquarium simulator. Like I know I keep talking about it, but it's going to be something crazy and new and different. It's tomorrow, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be fun. And then another announcement is that I'm going live with Brandon Lightcap on Sunday, and that'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be this coming Sunday. And it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about mistakes that new fish keepers make, and we're probably going to stay primarily focused on that, and then like how to avoid them. And then it also can correlate to even people like your seasoned aquarists that the famous phrase of teaching an old dog new tricks. Hey Jesse, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Jesse and I talked earlier before getting on the live here. But yeah, it's like I said, Brandon and I are going to get on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So it should be a lot of fun. And then also at the end of that, you want to stay tuned for that after we're done talking with our subjects and stuff, and talk amongst ourselves on different ways we can prevent accidents from happening. At the best case scenario is that we're going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to do at least 2 giveaways. I'm going to use that fish fan wheel. Probably it'll be the first time I've ever used it. Brandon says it's pretty easy to use. Jesse, I think you've used it before for giveaways as well, so it seems like it's pretty self-explanatory and something you can learn pretty quick. I think Brandon, he said he used it on the fly, so he said it was okay. So that's what I'm going to do. Is we're going to give at least two giveaways, and then I'm probably going to give away a third item that I got from AQQA. But nonetheless, it'll be a fun one. You guys don't want to miss that one because I've never done a giveaway, and I feel like some of the stuff that I have that's either around here that I'm not using, and I've also bought some food samples and stuff. And it's kind of like a big care package for you guys. So I don't want to give away, give away, get it. I don't want to reveal too much, without spoiling it and stuff. So, but yeah, that wheel is working, or that wheel is going to be a lot of fun. So that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm looking forward to that giveaway. It's going to be a nice little care package for everybody. All right, working and listening. Thanks, Vibes. Hey Warren, thanks for coming in, saying hello to everybody. So yeah, that's my other announcement. We are down to um one, two, we've done three announcements so far. Speaking of Alex, this will be my fourth announcement. Him and I are doing a recording this Friday, April 11th, couple of days. It's not a live, but we are doing a recording, and he's going to, I'm assuming, doing some editing with it because looks like we're going to be with Oasis Aquatics as well. So we're going to be recording in a couple of days, and then he's going to release that video for everybody on May 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that'll be the first time that I'll be doing a sort of like a collaboration with him. So that'll be fun to look forward to on Friday. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So the 11th Friday is unfortunately something you can't watch, but you just have to look out for it, and I'll try to remind you guys in the meantime. And I'm sure if you guys are friends with Alex, that he'll remind you as well. And he'll post a video on his Facebook and his social media platforms and all that sort of thing. So that's what else is going on too. One thing I forgot is I hope everyone's been liking the YouTube shorts. It was a really good time for me. Yeah, Jesse wanted to post this on here. I spent a lot of time on this one. My next YouTube short for tomorrow is going to be another funny one. So you don't want to miss that one. It's going to take a lot of time to do like I did with that one, but that one's pretty good. Jim, what's going on? Busy week this week. I'm planning to go to George's at Agno probably this weekend sometime. Maybe could be tomorrow, maybe Friday. But more than likely it's probably going to happen like over the weekend. So Jim, I will text you and get with you as soon as I can when I know when I'm going to go down. But yes. Yes, it's going to be a good time. Of course, it's always a good time. Thanks, Jody, for popping in and lurking. I appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, with my YouTube shorts, really hope everyone's been enjoying these YouTube shorts. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be a fun one too. I'm going to create it today and schedule for tomorrow because that's what I've been trying to do, especially when like work comes in. I have to like make multiple shorts. That's what's nice about YouTube is I can create shorts and schedule them, so I don't have to worry about trying to do one when I get home from work or something like that. But it's going to be a funny one again. It's going to be an entertainment one. And I've been liking doing these 30-day challenge of YouTube shorts. It's entertaining, and it also can be a learning experience too. So that's kind of like my whole sole purpose. MC Aquatics, lurking, hanging out. But it's challenging. I will probably never do this again. Not that I'm saying I regret it at all, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining, but I will probably not do this again just because it's a little bit exhausting to come with ideas. But so far, I've been doing okay. I have a few other ideas in the works to talk about, and like I said, I want this to be entertaining for everybody. I want this for everyone to enjoy it, have a few laughs here and there, and then also take something away from it for a learning experience. So I might do what I would probably do for some other shorts. I might go to like a store, like I might go to Agna Aquatics or something, and maybe do like a short of me picking up the fish that I'm going to get. So that might be nice to do. And then I'll just go to my other fish stories, maybe do a couple fish profiles. and then just updates on the fish room too, and different things that I like to personally do. So another short, oh, this month is my birthday month too. I'm not going to tell you what day because it's really neat how it played out this year. So that's cool. Um, MNC, or I'm sorry, Jody, MNC wants to know how those green dragons are doing. Jody said she wasn't able to text, I think is what she said. So MNC wants to know, Jody. So just give you a heads up. But yeah, several announcements going on right now. Um, as far as my 220 gallon, it is still sitting in the other room. It's going to take a long time. I still got a lot of fish movement to do. June, what's going on? Thanks for coming in and stopping by. My 220 gallon is still in the process. I have some painting I still want to do to the stand, and I need to fix there's one chip off of the decoration that I need to fix as well that I got the materials for. So I still got to do that. It's been kind of over there has been kind of putting on hold just because the fact that I'm still moving fish around where the tank is gonna sit. Because I have a couple of fish that are still in the medicating process. One's doing better. One's still kind of like the fire mouth I had explained about before, with medicating fish and how long you treat them. I won't get into that because we've already talked about that. But I'm going to be moving a lot of fish around and hope for the best for the situations at hand. So it's going to be a lot. It's a lot to do, a lot of prep work. Um, June, are you? Is this your? What would you use to clean a tank? Are you asking me this, June, as like a question, or is this for like everyone in chat as a whole? Um, Me personally, what would I use to clean a tank? I use those mag floats. I'm sure you know what those are. Um, and I also use a good tool actually. It's a very household item. Is a toothbrush because you can really get in those little corners and spots and underneath, your substrate and stuff, to get rid of some unsightly things you may or may not like in your tank. Brenton, I was just talking about you earlier how we're doing a live stream on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to do a giveaway and it'll be a lot of fun. I have two, maybe three giveaways for that day. So I'm excited about that. Um, and then I don't know what other stuff would I use to clean a tank. What would you use? Like, I know that you can actually just go to the grocery store and buy just a scrubber, and just clean the sides of the glass inside and, and with a long handle, especially for bigger tanks and stuff. June says anyone can answer, but I was asking you. I reset a tank and need to clean the side. Okay, so you're talking about um as far as like if you want to like maybe have some salt or maybe some water like residue, I guess around like the top and stuff. Because I've cleaned that before. I've heard that I know Dawn dish soap did me pretty well, but I think I'd have to remember. It's in a clear bottle, June. I cannot think for the life of me. It has a real strong smell to it. I know people have used that before, and I cannot. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I'm sorry I can't think of it. Um, I know people have used that before, and I'm sorry I can't think of the name. If someone else can help me. Jim was running about the glass tank. Yeah. Oh yeah, bars. Bars. I've heard that works too. I've never used it myself, but I've heard barkeeper's friend. Yes, thank you, Jim. Um, People use that, and I've personally never used it, but everyone in the chat can concur with Jim and M&C that that's what they use, and it seems to work wonders for them. Hey, Cecil, thanks for coming in, hanging out for a little bit. But it's glass. Yep. Um, it takes some elbow grease. I've actually gone to terms of using like those the things you use for dishes and stuff. Those oh, what do you call them? Those old. It's an old school term, but it's like a scratch pad per se that you use for scrubbing real hard, scum off dishes and stuff. I've used that before. Just been real careful, but it seems like the general consensus for you, June, is to use Barkeeper's Friend on a glass tank. So disinfectant, I would probably just stick maybe with just some water and hydrogen peroxide and just let it sit in really warm water. Um, I know that Jody P, does that for her fish nets, and her and her husband do that, to disinfect there. So maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe mix some hydrogen peroxide with some really, really warm hot water and just scrub it down after you're done. Uh, but Jim wants to know why you disinfect. That would be my suggestion. I've never I don't have a whole lot of experience with disinfecting tanks. So maybe June, you can kind of relay in the chat here and let us know your thoughts. But but yeah, there's a lot of fish movement to do here in my fish room. June's taking precautions. It looks like. I'm sorry for all your fish. I can relate to you, June. My peacock and hat tank hasn't been doing very well. Thankfully, I still have a lot of my original fish that are in there. So, um, it's good that my original fish haven't gotten sick, and I've had them for a couple years now. But I've lost what 3 fish in my peacock and hat tank in 8 days. So just little about a week or so, I've lost 3 fish in that tank. So really not sure what's going on with that tank. There's no signs of disease or anything. The only thing that I've noticed in my tank is there's been some flashing that's been going on within the fish that have died. But it's only been those few fish. And crazy enough, I don't know if you guys have um, rubbing alcohol. That's what I couldn't think of. I don't know why. Tip of the tongue. Thanks, Brandon. I used rubbing alcohol before, and it has a real strong smell to it. So June, that's what I was trying to think of. So thank you, Brandon, for letting us or for helping me out with that. Jim says I had a tank, ran bleach through everything for a week, drained the tank, and then let it dry for a few days. Yep. That's kind of like the important part is making sure that you let it dry too, I guess, because even when you do decorations and stuff, you can use bleach if you want to really get everything off the decorations, but you really have to use warm water and then you have to let it dry for a day or two in a I guess in a warmer climate area of your house sort of thing. So that way everything dries off completely within the bleach and stuff. Because if you add it back in too soon and some of that bleach just might still be on there, even though if you rinse it for a really long time, you just want to double check and make sure. From my experience, I've rinsed things out with bleach and then I probably put it back in the tank a little bit too soon, thinking that I rinsed everything off. And then I had a couple of fish die. So I learned from that. So whenever I bleach things, I make sure to rinse them off in hot water for a long time, and then I set them in a room. Like for example, like this fish room right now, it's sitting at it's actually showing 80 degrees, so the heat's not running right now. But my temperature set point is at 78, and usually all my tanks, especially like my middle and upper level tanks, they sit around 77 to 78 degrees as well. But then like all the ones that are on the lower part of my fish racks, they're probably about like 76 to 75 because of them being on the lower level. But yeah, long story short, getting back to the decorations, I always set them out for a day or two to make sure that all the bleach is gone, everything's dry, and everything's good to go. You're welcome, June. Anytime. I appreciate you asking these questions, and thank you for giving us all the opportunity to help you out. I hope that we've done you wonders. Um, but yeah, getting back to my fish room is there's a lot of fish movement I still got to do. I have for you guys who've seen the short on the Frontosa, I have had him in quarantine, and I'm going to move him upstairs. I'm going to be moving fish into that 40-gallon breeder, and then I'm going to marketplace all my 10 gallons. And all these 10 gallons are going to come with obviously the tank, the substrate, the sponge filter, the decorations, and then a heater I'll include with it as well. And I'll probably do them for like 30 bucks. And a couple of tanks of lights aren't working, so I might do those for like 20. So you know, someone can get a light for themselves, because I know that you can buy their submersible lights on Amazon. I think I bought mine for like $7 or $8 or something. It's a real small one, and you can just set it inside the tanks. I did that for one of my tanks already. And I could probably do that as well anyways, before I sell them if I, felt the need to. Um, Brandon says bleach is essentially high dose chlorine, so Prime and Safe or a similar product should neutralize the bleach. Gotcha. I didn't know about that, so thank you, Brandon, for sharing that. High dose chlorine, so Prime, Seachem Prime, and Safe or a similar should neutralize the bleach. So that's cool. So like, say if you're Brandon, I have a question on that then. So if you're um rinsing it with bleach, and then like let's say if you don't set it to dry for a few days and you decide to put it back in the tank after rinsing it out, should you put it back in the tank and then use prime and safe to neutralize the bleach even if it's not completely dry? Should that kind of alleviate the problem? Let me know if you're still in here, please. Um, yeah, my dad got me that jersey, that Mark Price jersey. So I'm going to be doing more of that on my next short. I don't reveal too much, but this next short, it's going to be pretty hilarious. Like I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be doing some um, outfit changes with this next one as well, so it should be a lot of fun. Vibes, you have asked me this before. I really love my peacock and haps. You know, I've grown up. You know, other than my community tank, I've obviously been doing this for a little bit now, growing and raising the tribe, and it's an amazing thing. I've really loved that experience, but it's got to be for me, hands down. It's got to be the Frontosa. They're just so chill and laid back, and they pair so well with the Blue Dolphins. You know, I it's a personal preference. I know that some people may not like the Frontosa because they're just slow and boring, I guess, for loss of better terms. But I don't know, just something about it. Just they're just so chill and they're so calm, and they don't really cause a whole lot of havoc, unlike your African cichlids that are just going nuts all the time. But it's just easy, and you pair 'em with Blue Dolphins, and it just has a really nice contract between them and the, Frontosa, so that's gotta be hands down right now Frontosa for me. I don't know if I could name a fish that I don't have that's a favorite because, in my opinion, I don't wanna name a favorite fish if I've never owned one before. Um, Now I could go down a list and say, "Hey, I really like some of these fish," but, um I would rather have a personal experience with them first before actually saying, "Hey, this is my favorite fish." Let's see here. It's always a good idea. Brand says, with no inhabitants in the tank, yet you can significantly overdose the product to be sure. Okay. Yeah, and I don't think over chlorinating a tank isn't going to harm the fish. There's certain chlorinators that might make the tank water like a little, like slightly cloudy in a sense, very like maybe like 5 to 7% cloudy. I know there's different water conditions that people prefer, whether it be safe, whether it be your Seachem Prime, your API, or any of the other brands are out there is fine. But I've also heard that, well, like I said, I've heard that it doesn't really hurt to overdose something just to be on the safe side, aquarium safe side. um, Jim says only one fish should be allowed in the hobby, and that's an Oscar because they're just big, giant puppy dogs. Yep, I figured. June, how many Oscars do you have at this point? I'm curious to know. I'll fist bump you fives. Yeah, that's my favorite. Top 10 list I'd love to have again. Yeah, maybe that's something that we could do on a live stream at some point. Is we could all name. I could have some guests on the panel, do like a multiple stream with whoever wants to join in. Because now that I'm back on StreamYard again, I can invite people on the fly, which is fantastic. That's one thing I really liked about that. With Restream, it was okay, and I really liked Restream, but it just wasn't all there. There was just little things and stuff that I could pinpoint out that I just kept going back to StreamYard. And here I am again. I was complaining about it being too much money, and here I is sitting here again paying for StreamYard. But I am using OBS. So the nice thing about it is I'm not using it all the time. So that's for another day though. Brandon says it's more of an oxygen issue when overdosing dechlorinator. So when you overdose dechlorinator, it's probably like if you are doing this per se, whenever you're cleaning your stuff out of your tank, like in June's situation, and you're adding stuff in after bleaching them, that you want to have a little extra aeration, maybe put an extra sponge filter in there with an air or an air stone or anything like that, and to give that extra surface tension, maybe add another wave maker on top of a sponge filter, just to make sure they have enough to breathe. Because I know that with medication, maybe this is related to it, that whenever you're medicating fish, whether you're putting aquarium salt in, a high dose of that, or if you're medicating for ick or internal or external parasites, I always turn my filters up a little bit to have that extra oxygen, gas exchange on the surface for my sponge filters. And of course, for bigger tanks, if I need to dose a bigger tank, that I don't hopefully need to do that. Um, just add another wave maker to it. So, uh, so yeah, no need to worry. Yeah, yeah, we should all do that sometime. We should all get together at some point, maybe on another live stream, and bring people up on the five. We can all come up with our top 10. We can all share. Like we could get like maybe Brandon in here. Anyone who wants to join, but like people, I'm just thinking people off the top of my head that I've live streamed with before. I've live streamed with Curtis and Vibes and Jorge, Mexicali Fish Keeping. I say Brandon. I've been on with Jesse. Um, who else? We did there's a couple other people I've live streamed with, Pleco Cavers, Aqua Balls, just running off the top of my head. But yeah, it'd be kind of fun to do that. Let's see here. But yeah, Jem, I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a message. Hopefully sooner than later when I know an exact day of when I'm gonna go to Agna Aquatics, and then maybe we can do lunch again. Uh, I have a few of those. Wave makers can get pretty pricey. I just I've asked this question a lot, especially on like Ben Ochart's channel whenever I'm going his live streams, because I usually like to ask questions on the second half of his live streams, and so he uses some decent wave makers. I know Cichlid Bros uses some decent wave makers, but they're kind of on the higher price end scale, and I never needed something that was a major thing. I guess I never wanted to put out a whole lot of money, and my wave makers that I bought on Amazon, they were only like I don't know, $15 a piece. I have one on my Peacock and half tank right now since I first started that tank. And that tank has been running for, I'll tell you here in a second. It has been running for 2 years and 2 months with an FX4 and a wave maker. And I'm going to add an FX6 temporarily to that tank in preparation for my 220. Now I know that you can take beneficial bacteria from other sponge filters and put them into a tank, and that's fine. And I could honestly do that. I mean, I have more than enough sponge filters that I need, but I kind of want to get the FX6 started because I have two of them. I want to get at least one started, so that way when the 220 is up and ready to go, I can just take my FX6, take it and bring it down here into the fish room and be good to go. I don't have to worry about using sponge filters or anything like that. But to each their own. Either way is okay. But yeah, I don't have a problem with going cheap on some of the wave makers, especially when you go to Amazon and you can have it delivered the next day. Scotty likes their Walrus cichlid. They're not real flash, but they're similar to Oscars. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, if you guys want to go back and forth or same time, and mute one or the other, you can check out Slim Tim's live stream if you want. He showcases his tanks for a few hours. So yeah, that's kind of like my updates. And now that we got like 15 or 16 people watching, it's basically I'm gonna summarize something down in a nutshell before I make this major announcement right now. And it's a big one for me. So if you guys want to stick around for a few minutes, Jim, you and I have already talked about this when we went out to lunch. But yep, you're welcome, Slim. But this is a major announcement for me. And I want to kind of make it known that I've said this a lot on my channel that there's always this fine line that you have to limit yourself when it comes to doing things in life, whether it's a hobby, whether it's doing family and work and life balance. And that was one thing that I always kept in mind, that the two most important things in life is number one, obviously, is family. Family always comes first. Two, keeping a steady job and maintaining that, and be responsible for taking care of your house needs, your food, your water, and everything like that. So that's kind of like in a nutshell. I'm not going to get into detail about that. And then thirdly, is you can enjoy life. Those are the top three things that, in my opinion, that you need to do in life. So in order to not cross over that line of where life becomes not fun and it becomes too much work and then it almost becomes a chore, and you feel like you're always on a time clock, or like you're always punching a clock every day. I have never felt that in this fish room. I have never felt that in my life. I never feel like other than coming to work, obviously, and clocking in and out, But um, on a I've never felt in this fish room to where I've overwhelmed myself enough to where I didn't have time to do this. Um, so those top three things are the three things that are most important in life. So when I say like hobbies and entertainment and stuff like that, that kind of lumps like fourth. You have to enjoy life. Learn to enjoy the little things. And be happy. Everything's going to work out. With anything that happens in your life. Whether it's good or bad or in between. Um, so I've never going back to my statement to summarize with these three events is that or three things I just talked about is I've never felt like I was on a punch card or a time clock with this fish room. And I had prevented myself from doing that. And I still have succeeded on doing that because I've enjoyed this hobby. I've done the maintenance of it and everything. And my wife, thankfully, she's helping me feed the fish when I'm gone, whether I'm at work. My brothers help me when I'm gone on vacation. So I'm always making sure that everything's healthy, everything's happy, and I never overwhelm myself. I never come down here and think, oh my gosh, it's too much work. So that is one reason why this isn't the main thing I want to talk about for my major announcement, the most important announcement of today's live stream. Because I didn't want to go too much longer than an hour, so I'm kind of over putting it. Um, but yeah, June says my pets have never overwhelmed me. Family, totally different story. Yep. So you got to have that nice balance with everything. That's my whole bullet point behind this. Um, let's see. You guys are distracting me with chat. um, but my whole thing that I'm really trying to get my point across is, make sure that you have time for everything. Make sure you have the finances available to do what you need to do. Make sure you have the time and the energy, and you don't miss out on important events either with your family, your friends, your hobbies. Enjoy life and that sort of thing. And don't ever cross that line to where it's too much work, because then if it is, then something needs to change. And that's where I have never crossed that line. I've always kind of been right below it, but I had to stop my breeding process. And I've told some people at the fish auctions, they were disappointed, but it comes down to a point to this is a factor of why I stopped the breeding process because one, I don't have any room. All my tanks are being filled up. But that's why I've been going to these auctions, getting rid of some fish. I'm going to probably give some fish to some local fish stores. And I'm planning to really like right now, I think I have close to 30 tanks, just roughly speaking, from upstairs and down here. And then um, I want to try to get down to like maybe 10 to 12 tanks at the most. I know Jesse, I think he has like 13. So I don't want to overwhelm myself because what I'm doing is I'm planning for this future that I'm going to have. I'm going to get rid of all these 10-gallon tanks. Not everyone will be gone. I'll have put the 220 in here. I'm going to get rid of all but two of my 20-gallon longs. Those are going to go on marketplace, and I'll have two just for quarantine purposes, and that's it. And then I'll have some grow out, a few more grow out tanks to keep fish for myself. And then if it comes down to it in a nutshell, a few months down the road, do I need to get rid of tanks? Then I will, and I'll just put them for cheap. But I have a major announcement for you guys, and I've been really looking forward to telling you all. But the whole reason I'm doing this, and like I said, Jim already knows about this, so I wanted to make an announcement to you guys, and I'll put a timestamp in here as well for the people who watch the replay. Um, so that way, if someone wants to know, or you guys can like share if you guys want to share it, that's fine. I don't care. It's really nothing that has to be major. It's not like a big wedding event like oh, what are the couple that's getting married? But anyways, anyways, I just want to make the announcement that my wife and I are having a second child. And it's due October 1st is the due date. So I'm planning for that. And it's a very exciting thing. I cannot wait to have this kid. And this is the other reason why I'm getting rid of a lot of my tanks in the fish room, because I need to focus more on that and balance work, life, and hobbies and all that sort of thing. So I appreciate all the congrats from everyone. And it's really exciting news. And I had to make sure to balance this life, and this hobby accordingly. So that is one of the reasons why I want to be able to enjoy my summer at the same time. Have a little less work on the fish room. I quit the breeding process. I'm getting rid of tanks. I'm summarizing everything down to a very smaller, less workload. So that way I can spend more time taking care of two kids now because I have a 2.5-year old, and she'll be 3 by the time that we have the kid in October. uh, but yeah, I appreciate all the congratulations for everybody. I'm really, really excited. Yeah, and it's just it's a lot of work down here, and I think it's a really good age difference. I like the 2 to 3 age different range, so that way, whenever we have a kid, the second kid, it'll be old enough to kind of try to help out because man, my daughter, she wants to do everything on her own. She's starting to get into that phase where she wants to be independent. Um, but Joe got jealous of his breeding fish, decides to do some different breeding. I go from breeding fish to breeding on my own. That's gone a whole different breeding process, a little bit more simplistic, for that matter. But I like the punny jokes. Yep, getting out of diapers. Yeah, we're in the process of doing the potty training right now for the little one. So hoping by the time that we have another one, it starts, or by the time the next one comes, it'll start all over. So that's my major announcement, and that's kind of the main circle focus around why I'm getting rid of a lot of my fish tanks. I'm getting my dream tank of my 220-gallon to put all my African cichlids in that I've grown up myself, all the males I've picked out, and I'm going to put in this 220-gallon. And they're going to be specifically, there's going to be a lot of OBs, a lot of different repetitive fish that are in there of all the same kinds. But the whole purpose of it is to say, hey, these are my fish. I've grown these all out myself. I never spent a single penny on any of these fish, and these are all mine, as a something like a trophy for me. So that's why a lot of these fish tanks are going away in the fish room, is so I can spend more time with them, and I'm not overwhelming myself and doing the whole work life and hobby balance to keep me under that line of doing things that I love doing and not feeling like it's a punch card or a time clock or anything like that. A proven breeding pair. Yeah, I got to watch out, with thankfully we're not. Let's see here. Thankfully, we are not praying mantis. I think that's what happens. Don't they like rip the head off? So I'll make sure not to piss my wife off. But yeah, those are kind of my major announcements. I wanted to save the best for last. So I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out for a little bit. With everyone that's still here, I'm going to give you a brief rundown of everything I talked about today since I came in here. So I'm back on StreamYard. I'm running on Twitch for doing a video game thing for tomorrow. So keep an eye out. I'm doing an aquarium simulator. It's going to be different. So I hope you guys can at least join and hang out for a little bit. But it'll be fun. Um, and then I'm going live with Brandon on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. his time. We're going to talk about mistakes that new fish keepers make. I hope everyone's been liking the YouTube shorts because I've been spending a lot of time on those. And I'm going to do a really fun one right after I get off this live streaming schedule for tomorrow. So this should be a lot of fun. I'm doing a pre-recording with Alex Cardinale. I think that's how you pronounce your last name, on Friday, but he's not releasing it till May 24th. And then I just briefly discussed the 220 process of why I'm moving fish around. So that's why it took a long time to get to my big announcement. But this whole entire day in this live stream is to, one, to get on a different time frame, but then two, to give you guys the main reason why I've been talking so much about going to the fish auctions, getting rid of fish, getting rid of tanks, getting this 220 and putting it in its place. It all had a whole binding reason of why I was doing this. And I was finally able, my wife is 15 weeks pregnant today. So I wanted to make sure that everything was healthy and everything was working, heartbeat and all that sort of thing before I make a general announcement to everybody. So there was a whole reason behind doing all this. And once we were trying, to figure this all out, now you guys know this is the reason why, and not to overwhelm myself and enjoy life, and to enjoy life and make sure I never cross that line, because I have a very strong, I'm very passionate about keeping that fine line and being under that fine line to where it becomes too much work in life, and I want to enjoy life to the best of my ability. Um, and work is going to get busy here in about a month or so because we have a lot of stuff going on. Long story short, so I need to prepare a lot of this stuff now. Then this next month, this whole week, and then the next several weeks before work gets busy, because then I'll be off YouTube for probably about a month or so, because work's got to, long story short, I got a lot of stuff going on with work. I need to get stuff done as much as I can within this month before everything gets busy. And then after that busy work week, or that busy work month will be over, then I can start pre-gaming for the future for October and getting things underway for that. um, Slim Tim, he did a to flip over. Oh yeah, so Slim said to make sure to go over to his live stream and hang out with him for a little bit. Jude says, with my why your husband still eats my cooking, I don't know. I would never eat anything he cooked. Oh come on, you like a good barbecue? Isn't that what husbands do? They go out and they barbecue stuff out on the grill. That's kind of like a staple gate for husbands to do, is they like to go outside and grill and barbecue and that sort of thing. I mean, I love a good barbecue, Gina. I'm not gonna lie. But yes, thank you, Jeff, for coming in and hanging out and listening in. Back to work for you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. That's the big announcement, and thank you for everyone stopping in and hanging out. Yeah, yeah. This isn't Rumble. Yes, yes, June. This is not Rumble. He cooks the animals he hunted down. Fair enough. Um, but yeah, that is my live stream for today. Um, and I'm so glad that you guys could come and hang out with me for a little bit and get the major announcement in. I know it took a while to get there, but I really wanted to make a lot of announcements of what was going on the next several days, and then what's all leading up to October 1st. We do know the sex of the kid, but we are not revealing that at all. So, and we haven't even picked a name out yet. but but yeah, Jody, if you've been listening in, there was a major announcements I made. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get off here, Jody. If you missed it, October 1st, we're expecting another child. So this was my whole reason of this live stream, is to give a very broad explanation about these events that are happening, why I've been getting rid of tanks and going to auctions and getting rid of fish and stopping the breeding process in a nutshell, and doing some announcements for some live streams and stuff. So, um, oh, the sex is good, Jude. It's wonderful. Oh, you mean okay, male or female? Just kidding. We can go that way a little bit. You can kind of push the boundaries a little bit. I don't mind. We can all joke around and have a good time. My next short, is going to be a good time for joking around. Only a teacher can answer that question. My wife is a teacher. Well, she actually is a stay-at-home mom because I make enough money for the both of us to be able to help us in the hobby. Jeff said, Tim, your comment is off the live stream. Yes, not Rumble. I can kind of push the boundaries a little bit, June. But I like to try to keep my channel family friendly for the most part. But there is, I can kind of get a little bit edgy a little bit, but not enough to be on Rumble, because I know Rumble's a whole different ball game. But yeah, that's kind of everything that I wanted to talk about. So I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. When will the reveal be? I think my wife and we haven't even told. Oh, obviously my family knows about us having a second child, but like when our first child, when Alana was born, the only thing we did not say was the name of my daughter, and we kept that a secret with everybody except her and I. And then we announced whenever she was born. Brenton, I appreciate it. Everyone who hasn't, hit the like button if you can. Um, yeah, I got to make it kid safe, family safe, because my folks are on here sometimes. My wife gets on here; she's very family oriented. I'm planning to still do this in the future. So if kids are on here, like my daughter, and then like any of my other kids that like watching me, I want to make sure to keep everything pretty much PG in a sense. So let's see. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Everyone who hasn't gotten the like button, I would appreciate it. Especially, I'm having a freaking kid. You guys got to like this live stream. um, but the reveal, June, to the answer to your question is my wife and I have not decided when we're going to reveal if it's going to be a boy or a girl. And we're actually talking and making it a surprise because, like I said, we haven't come up with a name yet. Um, but I don't know. I'll keep you guys in the loop, whether it be on YouTube here, whether it would be on the community tab. That's what it is, and put a post on there and stuff. I kind of keep you guys updated and that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, we still got some time. Yes, June, we still got some time for the kid, June. Appreciate it. So I initially wanted a boy as my first kid, but I was completely 100% satisfied with having a healthy baby. That's the important thing. So I couldn't be more thankful to have a girl. Um, and then I wanted to have a boy originally, to have like a mixture between a boy and a girl. But then I just got both her and I got so attached to Alana, and it's been a wonderful thing. And we were kind of hoping for a girl, but at the same time, we were both kind of like, man, it'd be nice to have a girl because you can have they can bunk in the same bedroom sort of thing when they're older and that sort of thing. Um, but then again, if you have a boy, it's like a nice mixture between the two. So you guys can make your guesses in the comments below. um, but all right, thanks MC for coming by. I appreciate it. Go hang out with your grandson. Um, stay fired up. I'm going to go too. So thank you everyone for stopping by. You guys can leave comments in the chat or even comments in the video of my announcement, my major announcement, what all led down to all this. So um, I'm Slim says I'm a girl dad of 3. Yeah, I don't know. Girls are just they're sentimental, but then boys, you need to have someone to help you around the house. So thanks again, everyone. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get this short ready for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go spend some time with my family before we go to the next segment. So take care, everyone. I appreciate you hanging out and spending your morning. Hope you had some good breakfast and coffee, and then we'll see you on the next one. Take care and enjoy.